So I got myself into some more trouble. Hey guys, so today I ended up going to the orange store thanks to Moya over at Garden Addicts. If you're not following her, jump off of here and go check out her channel. She's doing so much to her yard and it's awesome to see all that she is accomplishing throughout the years. But today actually it was just the other day, she told us that Home Depot had all their bulbs for 50% off. So naturally I went. I didn't get myself in too much trouble, I don't think. Considering I think last year we did like 3,500 bulbs. I'll never do that amount again. I'm so beyond that point, it's not even funny. But I went to the orange store. I also went to Walmart just a few days before that. And then my friend Jenna over at Nine Gardens, who is a floral flower arrangement subscription service, and she also does cut flowers in her own backyard, so support small. Definitely check her out on Instagram. You can find her name right here. She was so nice because we were chit-chatting about the fact that she had a large bulb order coming in. I said, oh, I was looking for a certain daffodil. And she goes, oh, which one? I said, Thalia. And I said, everybody's sold out. I can't get it anywhere. And I hadn't been to the stores yet really to look. And she's like, well, I'll send you some out. How many you need? And I said, if you have 50 to spare, I'll definitely take them. And let me know the cost. So she was so nice and sent me out 50 Thalia daffodils. That's upside down. Thalia daffodils. Look how beautiful and big these bulbs are. This is one of my favorite daffodils to plant because it naturalizes. It has 2 to 3 blooms per stem. They only get between 12 and 14 inches, and they're just a beautiful pure white, and they just have a different look from any of your normal daffodils. So if you're not keen on daffodils, which I don't know why you're not, definitely check out Thalia. She's got a different shape and she's just pure and just beautiful, and it's one of my favorites. So starting off, I got 50 bulbs of that. Thank you, Jenna. But moving along, I ended up going to Walmart first. So this was the other day prior to today. I'm shooting this video after I went to Home Depot. But I picked up 3 bags of Ice Follies. This is just one of those classic daffodils, or super, super pretty. They come out white with the yellow throat. As the bloom ages a little bit more, they turn to a white with a cream throat, which I really, really like that one a lot more. So I already have like 150, maybe 200 of these already planted. So I want to spread these around a little bit more into my woodland garden area, and then bring them out into another area that I've already got them planted. So I picked up 3 bags of these at 35 bulbs each. I think that's 155. Not bad. 10 bucks a bag. Walmart is not on clearance as of yet. It's been a couple days since I've been there, so things might have changed. But also while I was there, I picked up 4 bags of, I'm gonna butcher this name, Chinodoxus.
Chinodoxa.
I already planted these up front, and they're really nice. They bloom super, super early. They don't spread aggressively, but they do naturalize, which is nice. They bloom early enough that pollinators can quickly find them, and the flowers are big enough that you don't miss them. So it's like a bluish white. Sometimes the centers are a little more white than the blue. Perfectly fine with me. They have a strappy type foliage, which I really like. They only get 4 to 8 inches tall. Mine in leaner soil up front have only gotten to like 2 to 3 inches. So depending where you plant them, you'll have them, but they will naturalize, which I'm really excited about. These are gonna definitely go down by the fire pit area. The soil there is a little bit more moist, more evenly moist, I should say. So they should be able to spread and naturalize a little bit better. They're not aggressive like grape muscari, which is another big concern, and purple squill, blue squill. But I still plant blue squill and I still plant blue muscari because I like them. I don't really care if they take over that bed. So you can always weed them out in the spring if you don't like them, or even the fall, because grape hyacinth foliage is actually up right now. So if you don't like them, just pull them out, disperse them, maybe spread them somewhere else. So moving on to the orange store, I picked up just a few things. Really, I did pretty good. Can't complain. So I only picked up 2 bags, and now I'm thinking I should have picked up just at least 1 more. I knew I should have picked up 1 more and I didn't, but they had Purple Sensation alliums. These guys are just classic. They do really well here. I have 415 down our driveway. I have a ton up in front of our house and down the side of our house, and then out on the border that goes between our properties. I have not added out any to the road area yet because I've actually planted that whole area out, but I'm thinking I don't like it. Per usual, no big surprise there. But these are gonna go down by the fire pit area, and if I have too many, then I'll just tuck them in somewhere else, maybe where I plan to add more. But aside from that, 2 bags, they were 50% off at $7.50 each, and there's 40 bulbs here, so it's a good start. Now they only had 1 bag of these. These were $7.50 each a bag, and they're 50 crocus. These bloom extremely early as well for pollinators, which is another key thing, especially when they're waking up from dormancy. So I actually got really excited the one year because my crocus actually bloomed, but for some reason for me, I don't know if it's the bulb size or what it was, but they didn't bloom the first year I planted them, and I'm thinking it's actually because I didn't plant them deep enough. You're supposed to plant these at only 2 inches, and I think I put them like right under the dirt. So go figure. So we'll plant these about 2 inches deep. Really pretty. I haven't seen these ones before. Yeah, so we'll just put these down by the fire pit area and let them naturalize. They only had 2 of these. These are the only daffodils that I purchased that I don't know where they're going. These are called Sempervante. There's 15 bulbs in each, got them 50% off, so made them $5. They're really pretty. They look like they have like an off-white outer side or white with an orange throat, orangey yellow throat, which I'm really like, I really like that. So I'm gonna figure out where I'm gonna plant these at some point. They'll probably be the last things I plant because I know exactly where the other daffodils are going, and then I can kind of just tuck these in for some extra beauty somewhere else. But I couldn't pass them up for $5 a piece. I mean, you got 30 bulbs for 10 bucks. Can't beat it. But then the last thing, actually this was the first thing I noticed when I went there, because I was kind of wondering if they had them. They had 6 bags. So my poor friend Jenna didn't have to send me any, but let me tell you, the bulb size on these, like that's the bulb size compared to that. I mean, these are pretty mature, but I'm still gonna plant these. I'm still happy with that because I planted bulbs that were like this last year, and I was still absolutely in love with just how much bloomage I got out of them and how good the size of the blooms were. So I'm not even worried. I did pick up 6 bags at 16. That's 36, 6, 3, 96 bulbs. That's a lot. That's a lot. So 96 plus the other 50. We're gonna be a little busy today. They're not all gonna go in the same spot. I don't really think I'm gonna need 150-ish bulbs, less than that, 140-ish something bulbs over in one area. I don't know, I always say that and then it eats it all up, and then I'm like, well, okay, maybe we should just order some more. I'm not ordering anymore. This is what I got this year. Now, if you're thinking, why aren't you planting tulips, Brad? I've made it very clear I'm not planting any tulips this year. I wanted to focus my money on perennial bulbs and naturalizing bulbs for my garden this year. Tulips are just kind of a luxury bulb to me. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to get any. It just doesn't mean that. It just means right now I'm not interested in planting tulips. I have some varieties that do come back, and they come back great. I did kind of look at getting more foxtrots because they had those, and then I was also looking at some apricot blush, but they're not at the top of my priority. So, top of the priority list, I should say. So, for right now, we're gonna work on getting these. I've got like a ton now. I went from 100 allium bulbs this big in 10 minutes to all of this, and I don't know how long it's gonna take to plant, but let's show you where we're getting them planted. So you guys are pretty familiar with our fire pit area that we're still working on. That's Mr. Harry. You're gonna ask what this is. This was over by our fence on the other side of the yard. Just kind of threw it over here just to get it out of the way. And I'm kind of thinking I would like to put an arbor here maybe. Not this one. This is an old patio grill cover thing. It's just gonna go out for scrap at this point. But I wanna build something more modern for right here. And I think that I like the arbor there. I'm really digging it. But this is gonna be the area that I'm gonna be focusing a lot of my bulb planting on. This is where the thalias are gonna go. The alliums are going to go over here as well with our drumstick alliums that we already planted, and you can kind of see some of the skewers there. Those are indicating that's where I planted those, so I'll be able to work around. We've also gotten a ton of leaf mulch down, and I'm about to finish it up because we have another load. Rob's out collecting more right now. They never hurt each other, I swear. She's just an active puppy, and he goes and plays with her as well. But excuse my shadow, but everything is looking really, really good. Got it all mulched in. This area is going to get mulched as well, and the compost heaps are starting to fill up pretty big. I have to address that, and I'll probably just address it in the fall once some stuff breaks down and all that fun stuff. But majority of the bulbs, I'm going to show you where the ice follies are going to go. Last year, if you remember, we did all of our Dutch grown bulbs right through here. We have a ton of tulips and some Fratilla, and we did some Camassia, I believe, in there. I'm thinking that is all we did. I'll have to remember, but we had a beautiful display, very moody. We'll see what comes back. I left them up quite a bit longer than normally I would have. I would have just cut them back once they're done blooming, but I really left them up to see just what's going to come back. So maybe we'll get a great display. But in this area, this goes into our kind of our woodland area, and this is where I'm thinking I want to place a bunch of the ice follies. I have some over along this fenced area, which that'll be a big drift. I was thinking about maybe planting a few over there. Thalia daffodils are all through here, and then I'm thinking about layering in some there. I almost picked up a bag of yellow daffodils as well, just because I know I have a couple over here that I kind of just tucked in, and I thought, you know what, maybe I should just do yellows over here, and then maybe just do a whole gaggle of yellows over here. I think that would be really, really pretty. So I might ponder that while I plant the other stuff, but there's gonna be daffodils in here. So that is pretty much looking like we have a bunch of ice follies here, thalia daffodils here, and then there'll be some type of daffodil here. There's nothing down in this area, so we'll probably plant some more daffodils there. And then I think right about in here is where it starts to go around, and that's where our tulip display is. So we've got some open area, that's good. And we're just in viewing shot of where the fire pit is. So you're gonna kind of see all of this develop over the next year, I'm hoping, because I've got plans for down there, an idea for back here, and then I'm thinking something along here because we want to leave our grass area a bit open so that we can entertain. So I'm not entirely sure how long this is going to take. I'm kind of just going to take the bulbs, throw them out by hand. Wherever they land is where they're going to land, and that's the way I'm going to plant them because I want a more natural look, and that's my goal in the end. So I'm just going to toss them, see what happens, and yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got for that. It's not science. I usually do a big drift, but I've got the auger, and it should save me a lot more time. And if Rob comes and helps me, maybe Marlo can help me. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm gonna jump into that. So it's a new day. Today I am finishing up all the bulb planting. We had a little bit of a problem when I went to go plant the ice follies yesterday in the area that I was going to. I finally broke into the bags and I was pulling them out and I'm like, well, that's bad. This one's bad. Ended up all 3 bags were actually pretty much all bad. I consolidated and ended up getting like 20 something of them that were decent that I can plant. But the other ones were total junk, so I took them back, returned them. Normally I always check my bulbs, but they were like the last 3 bags. I was like, oh, just so excited to get them. Never checked them when I picked them up. So that was bad on my part, but the good thing is I was able to return them. I ended up going to a store across the way from them and picked up some new bulbs. So this is what I ended up with instead of ice follies. I ended up getting 3 packs of these. They're 12 bulbs each. These are called goblet daffodils. So they'll have that little bit of yellow with the white. I wanted something different. I didn't want a bunch of yellow bulbs, like yellow tulips, and I didn't necessarily want just all white. I want some variation throughout the yard. But then I also picked up 2 packs of these. They're 12 bulbs each. I planted these last year actually right over in this area with the ice folly daffodils that are actually in this area as well. And I really liked them. So I'm going to plant a few more of them. You can see the bulbs are pretty small compared to what we're used to. They say to plant these about 4 inches deep. So we'll do them again. I really like the other ones, and I left the seed heads on for as long as I could so that they could spread a little bit. These do somewhat naturalize from what I was reading on them. So in time we'll find out. But these ones are gonna go over in place of where I was gonna put the massive ice follies. They're gonna go into a drift, I think, over here to my left of the patio. And then the ice follies that I was able to save, they're gonna go right over here, and it'll be a big drift of ice follies over in this. So now it is dark. I have spent the rest of the evening getting all of them in. I didn't film all of me planting them just because I figured we've seen enough. But I'm really excited to see these come into bloom next spring, and I hope you are too. So make sure you're subscribed and followed, and you will be able to see them pop up as well. I hope you guys are having a great evening now, now that it's dark, and I hope you guys are having fun in your garden. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.